We're be making some macarons today, and it's really important that all the measurements are precise, so I recommend getting a scale. Here we have 57 grams of almond powder, and right now we ran out of powdered sugar, but what you can do is take about 1 cup of regular granulated sugar and 1 tablespoon of either potato starch or cornstarch, and blend that for about a minute, and that will be made into a powdered sugar. And this will make about 150 grams, but you'll only need about 100 grams, and you can keep the 50 grams for next time. So I'm gonna be pouring in about 100 grams of powdered sugar, which is all we really need. So now that you have your 100 grams of powdered sugar and your 57 grams of almond powder, we're gonna sift that through, or you can also use a food processor. Dry ingredients, we're going to put these to the side and now work with our eggs. Now I just grabbed these from the fridge, so they're still a bit cold. Usually you want to go for some room temperature eggs. So, but in order to speed up that process, you can just put these in some hot water for about a minute, and that will help warm them up. Okay, so now that we've got the eggs warmed up, we're going to separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. Now that you've got your egg whites and egg yolks separated, you can keep the yolks next time for something else. I'm going to make some scones later, so I'm going to keep these to the side. And now all the eggs are different sizes, but you want to make sure your egg whites measure up to be 57 grams. So if it's a little bit over, you can take some out or save them next time. Grams of egg whites, we're going to pour it into a larger bowl, and you can either whisk it by hand or use an electric mixer. So to that, we're going to add the egg whites, and now we're going to add two drops of cream of tartar. It's on a low to medium setting. Now you can turn up the speed a little bit to a medium speed. Now once it starts bubbling, you want to add in a little bit of sugar, a little bit at a time. You want to incorporate around 30 grams of sugar. Now that it's bubbling, you can add in the first part of the sugar. So right now it is at the perfect consistency. You want it to, when you lift up, for it to just stick right up and only have a little tilt. So now that you got your egg whites mixed, you're going to mix about 1/3 of the dry ingredients into the egg whites, and then we're going to fold the egg whites into the mixture. We've mixed the first part in, you're going to make a little basket, like this. Pour in the rest of your dry ingredients in. And then once again, fold gently this time. You want to keep folding it until you're able to lift up and make figure eights with the batter. Right now we're able to make ribbons and make a figure eight, so we know that the batter is ready. You want to make sure you don't overmix, because if you overmix it, it will result in flattened macarons. Okay. So once you got one of the piping bags, you're going to place it over a cup like so. And then you could mix in the colors into the batter, but I like to have multicolored macarons, so if you put the food coloring onto the piping bag itself, it will have a different colors. Open the back up, use the back of a chopstick, and now you can use whatever colors. I'm going to use the primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. And first off, we have yellow. And I'm just going to use the back of the chopstick and spread it out. Next we have red. Again, use the back of the chopstick and spread it down. Lastly, we have blue. Repeat the process. And spread it down. Okay. So next you need to take out some baking sheets and line it with some parchment paper, and I just printed off some of the macaron template. You can get them online anywhere. Just search a macaron template, and now into your piping bag you're going to pour your batter. Give it one last, and we're going to pour it in. Now we're going to cut the bottom tip. Now you can start piping your macarons. Make sure you start at the center and now it's been about an hour, and you can see if it's ready by using the back of a spoon and just gently touch it. If it doesn't stick or flatten out, that means it's ready. Preheat the oven to about 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And then put the macarons in and bake for about 12 minutes. Now that our oven's all heated up, we're going to insert the macarons. You want to put them in the middle rack. Now it's been about 12 minutes and I think it's about done, but everyone's oven is a little bit different, so you can leave it in there for a little bit longer or shorter, but I'm going to take these out now. Some beautiful macarons that just came out of the oven. Now we're going to have to wait for these to cool before we create our filling and eat. Using a fresh passion fruit and some mascarpone cheese. Then we're gonna want to blend these up because we don't want to have the crunchy texture from the seeds. The macarons. So into the blender. Blended, we're gonna want to filter the juice through a sieve. And use a spoon to help speed up the process. And this helps give us a richer flavor by blending the seeds as well. We've got our mascarpone cheese, and I only made a little bit because I like to make a variety of different flavors in this. Just a little bit of mascarpone, and then we're going to just mix it up. Right now it's at just the right consistency. You want it to be a little bit like cream cheese. And now we can pop these in the fridge for a while to cool and solidify more. And for this next step, we're gonna want to use a Ziploc bag to put the cream in. Kind of put a little bit at a time. Now I'm gonna start piping. I'm gonna cut a small hole. And then by using a heel, you're gonna grab more of the macarons. You're gonna start from piping at the center and slowly now you put it on a plate, or I want to add a little bit more to the other side. Put it on the plate and find a macaron that's about the same size and pop it on top. Some shrimp that's already been cut and in our freezer, as well as some thinly sliced shabu shabu beef. I'm going to be using those to make some savory macarons today. So first you're going to turn on the heat, and once you can feel the pot heating up, cut shrimp. Try to make these into somewhat of a circle. Shrimp turns a little bit red, and then you can put them on one side, you can flip them over. Let's see, not quite done yet. Let's check the other ones. So once you can see that it's starting to turn orange, you can start to flip them. You can sprinkle some salt on top. Now you can see that they're ready, that they're orange on both sides, and you can take them out. You want to let these cool a bit or before putting them on the macarons, or else it will could make them deflate. Some beef. I already put it. Okay, I'm gonna put some. I got some truffle butter. I'm gonna put to the side. Now I'm gonna put the meat on top. Now while we're waiting for the beef and the shrimp to cool, we're gonna mix up some mascarpone cheese again. This will help the beef and the shrimp stick to the macarons later. So we're gonna use that. Now you can use any type of cheese. At home, I currently only have some mascarpone cheese, but you can feel free to use some cream cheese or any kind of cheese that has kind of a sticky texture. I'm gonna cut the meat has cooled down, so I'm gonna cut it into. I only cooked 2 of them, so I'm just gonna cut it into 4 pieces. As well. Okay. And now we're gonna add some of the cheese onto the macaron. Just a little bit of cheese. And a piece of meat. And voila. Now we're gonna I'm gonna grab one of the bigger plates in order to place the macarons. Over here. I'm gonna make these over here. Put the shrimp on top. We have 4 beef macarons and 4 shrimp macarons. I have some leftover egg salad that I'm going to use for the remainder of the macarons. And with With the leftover egg salad, I wanted to make sure that it's not too wet, so you want to kind of move it around, make sure it's not too wet before you put it on your macarons. And I just place. And since this egg salad is already kind of sticky, I'm not going to add any more of the mascarpone cheese. This egg salad is also very simple to make. It's a combination of some boiled eggs, peas, some corn, and carrots.